All right, everybody, welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really diving into something I think you're going to find interesting, intriguing.
Yeah, this is one, when I saw the prep materials, I was like, oh boy.
Yeah?
We're going to have a lot to unpack here.
This is exciting stuff. So we're looking at Global Content Studios.
Okay.
Global Content Studios. And right away, that name, even before we even get into the website or anything, Global Content Studios.
Yeah.
That's making a statement. You know what I mean?
I think so, and it's interesting, right? Because like we always say, you can kind of tell a lot about a company just by its name,
Exactly.
how they want to be perceived, right? And I think Global Content Studios really positions them broadly within like the content creation landscape, you know?
It's not.
They're not pigeonholing themselves. They're not saying, we're just a podcast studio, we're just a this or that.
They're not limiting themselves.
It's content, right? And that could mean so many things.
Which is smart these days, right? Content is king, queen, the whole royal family. But you're right. They could have gone with, like, Joe's Podcast Garage or something.
Right, exactly. But this, I mean, even just that name alone, Global Content Studios, it suggests a certain ambition. And then you dig a little deeper.
And you start digging into the website, and you see they've got, like, separate studios for podcasting, A&D music production. Like, that's fancy. And they're not messing around with the equipment either. Technology forward is what we're seeing. Top of the line, cutting edge stuff.
That's really interesting to me because, you know, sometimes you see places that are like, we do it all. But here, it feels like they understand that both podcasting and music, they require specialized gear, specialized expertise.
Oh, absolutely.
And the fact that they're investing in both, that tells me they're serious.
It's not just a side hustle, right? They're going all in. And think about the synergy there, right? Someone who wants to record a podcast, but also maybe dabbles in music or vice versa. This is like a one-stop shop for them.
Exactly. It's smart business. And speaking of smart, let's talk about their location. Metro, Detroit, Southfield to be exact. But then I noticed something interesting.
Oh, yeah. And this threw me for a loop. Their studio hours, are you ready for this?
Hit me.
2 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Ooh.
2 p.m. to 6 a.m. So basically, if you're a vampire or a night owl, this is your jam. But seriously, what's the strategy there? Are they trying to attract a specific kind of client?
I mean, it's definitely a bold choice, and I think it speaks to their understanding of, well, content creators, right? We're not all working 9-to-5s. Musicians are often working late. Podcasters might have day jobs.
Right. It's like they're saying, we get you. We understand the creative grind.
You know what? It's also smart from a competition standpoint. Think about how many studios are probably booked solid during those prime daytime hours.
Oh, totally. This way, they're capturing that after-hours market.
Exactly.
Genius.
So smart. Now, speaking of, you can't talk about Global Content Studios without talking about the man behind the board, Doug Craig.
Oh, yeah, Doug C.
And this is where, for me, things got really interesting. Because this isn't just some guy who took a weekend course on audio engineering.
No.
We're talking Capitol Records, Epic Records.
Sony Universal.
This is a guy who has worked with the biggest names in the music industry.
Yeah, this guy's resume could choke a horse.
Exactly. And it makes you think, why? Why would someone with that kind of experience choose to open a podcast and music studio in Southfield?
Right. What's he seeing that we're not?
Exactly.
It makes me think about their whole premier podcast production studio thing. It's not just marketing hype. It's like they genuinely believe they can be the best, the go-to spot. And with Doug's experience, honestly, I wouldn't bet against them.
Neither.
So, all right, let's bring it home for our listeners. We've got Global Content Studios, not just a name, it's a vision, right? They're doing podcasts, they're doing music, they've got the gear, the location, the hours, and oh yeah, the producer with the Midas touch.
It's a really compelling package.
So what's the takeaway here? What do people need to know about Global Content Studios?
To me, it screams potential. This is a company, or rather a vision, that's still unfolding. They're clearly not just offering a service, they're building something bigger. I'd say keep an eye on them because I don't think we've heard the last of Global Content Studios. Not by a long shot.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Global Content Studios, folks. A name to remember.
That's it for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.